There's no new version, there's no new firmware, there's no new update, there's no new compatibility. Analog stays the same, the iron never changes. So Waves backed off and the perpetual licenses are back in the game along with the subscription. So what did we learn from this half fiasco? Well, we learned something that people like me that has been around for a little bit doing this already knew. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, welcome back to MixFest TV. Hope you're having a great day. Before we start, please check the info box down below for my mixing courses on Pro Mix Academy, free plugins, special discounts and offers. And of course, if you really want to learn how to mix and master professionally, click the join button down here, become a MixFest TV member, access the already big and always growing library of full mixing courses, start to finish, mastering courses on many different genres and a lot more. And if you enjoy the content, please consider using the super thanks and support MixFest TV. All right, I really wanted to do this follow-up video because part of what I'm about to say was in a video that I never released because, well, Waves backed off and reintroduced the perpetual licenses. What some people learned probably from this whole thing with Waves is that buying software is not exactly the same as buying an object like a car. When we buy software, we don't really own the software. Otherwise, we would be entitled to have access to the source code, among other things. When we buy software, we basically lease it. We have license to use. But that doesn't mean that we don't have any rights. But when we buy software, we are not entitled automatically to have free updates forever. Many companies do give us free updates for a given product for a long period of time for free. So maybe when we buy software, we should also look at what policy that given company adopts. Many companies, when they come with a new version, okay, let's say V2 and V3, where V3 has new functions, new features, maybe a rewriting of the code. It's simply just better. In that case, they give you the option to upgrade to a new, better and improved version, but usually the old one is not abandoned. They will keep supporting updates on the old version for at least, I want to say, a couple or 3 or more operating systems. Anything that we buy at the end of the day needs maintenance, okay? We buy a car, we don't have free oil changes forever. We need to do maintenance, we need to spend a small portion, of course, of what the object costs to keep it running and keep it running smooth. Software is no different. The difference between a software and an object, an item, and I think this is where the disconnect is that with the software, you don't really have manufacturing costs like you have with, again, a car, a computer, a phone, something like that. And that's why many companies are able to provide free updates for years and years for free to their customer base. But the core message of this video is not really that. That was just a general discussion. As the titles say, what we learned, and by we I mean the new generation of engineers, analog are still the best and more reliable tools at our disposal. You know why? Because every single time that I had to open an old project, which is something that came out a lot in the comments with all these Wave things, I've always only had problems with plugins when reopening old sessions. They weren't there. I installed a new version of that plugin and wasn't compatible with the previous one, so you had to uninstall that one. They weren't opening anymore in the UOS. They weren't opening anymore in the new DAW version. Always and only plugins. While my distressors, my Pultecs, my Fairchild, my 1176s, they were the same 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and they never changed. And they never will change. And in before the comments, oh, you need to do maintenance on the hardware, in 18 plus years, I probably had to do maintenance 5 times for pretty minor things. So that will give you an idea. Now tell me, when is the last time that a plugin, an OS, a version of a DAW, a hard drive lasted this long and never changed and never failed? This is why today We can reopen mixes that were done on tape 40, 50, 60 years ago. It would be unthinkable to do that with hard drives. There would be such a high rate of failure. So think about that, because I think the new generation haven't been around long enough to know these things. There's no new version, there's no new firmware, there's no new update, there's no new compatibility. Analog stays the same, the iron never changes. And I think some people now see this. But anyway, I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the alternative to Waves plugin video, even though they backed off. The perpetual license is back there along with the subscription, so you have choices. And I think that's the way to do it. Give options and let people decide. If you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like, use the super thanks, support the channel, subscribe if you haven't already, stay safe. See you next time.
Hands on my neck, hands grip my throat. Lift me up, man, take control. Heart is so gone, my type. Don't you know I fall for the bad type? You play the role of an angel pretty well, but I can say you can't.